Doing well this morning. A little about myself. My name is Darren Perkins, and I'm the testing coordinator at the University Testing Center, which a lot of people still don't even know exists. We are located at 1600 Hampton Street, so it's not quite on campus, but still, I guess you can consider it campus. Um, I have been a part of USC. I think I started in 2016, and I've been in this particular position since 20, about 2 years now. Yeah, about 2 years. I started this position. And basically, today, what I would like to talk to you all about first, the testing center. Like I said, a lot of people still don't know about us. Um, we do offer a variety of exams here. We, of course, would like to focus on the students, but because we are a revenue-based entity, we have to get our revenue from the community as well. So we actually end up servicing the community just as much as we do the students. We offer everything from collegiate examinations to professional certification. So really a wide range of exams. Today, as far as serving the student body, one of our most popular exams is the CLEP exam. And CLEP basically stands for college level examination program, excuse me. It's accepted by 2,900 colleges and universities. Uh, Basically allows students to earn college credit just by passing an exam. You could really think of it as a comprehensive final. That's what I like to tell a lot of students. That is basically a comprehensive final. Here at USC, we actually accept 21 out of the 35 that College Board has available for students to take, which is huge. A lot of it is basically your entry level examinations from English 101s or um, finance. It really just depends on basically your entry level exams are what CLEP is for. Um, so our learning objectives for today will be how do students get credit for these CLEP exams? How do students prepare for these exams? Um, Once they're ready to take the exam, what do they do from there? And then, of course, how you as advisors can help us basically get the word spread. So I'm not going to take too much of your time today. We're just going to hop right into it. So, how students receive credit, basically, they have to meet a minimum score requirement. So, basically, if they were taking something like American literature, USC has a passing score of a 55. So they have to get a 55 or higher. And then that will allow them to, for that particular American literature exam, it will allow them to basically place out of English 285. Um, and like I said, there are 20 other exams that will allow you to place out of certain exams, basically all 1 or 200 level courses, maybe a few 300 level courses, but we'll get to that as well. Um, CLEP doesn't impact the GPA at all. So basically, a student would take advantage of this if it's a class that they don't necessarily they need the class in order to graduate and don't need it for a GPA boost. Basically, that would be excellent for them. Once a student has successfully passed the CLEP exam, they will receive that college credit, and like I said, they won't have to take that class, which is great. USC students, USC actually has a policy that doesn't allow students to take more than one of a particular exam. So they could technically take all 21 that are offered, but only once per exam. Once they have submitted the score, it doesn't matter if they want to take it again. It's pretty much a one go at it that they get. Once the students do test with us, they get a physical printout that has something called an ACE score on it. An ACE score, I would say, it doesn't really matter in our case because USC, of excuse me, all of our requirements are higher than the ACE score. So it's basically the average score. So it could be kind of confusing for students when they get their report and they see that their test score is higher than the A score, but still not high enough for them to place out of that class. So we do like to explain that to students, that just because you get higher than what we would call an A score, that doesn't mean that you necessarily place out of the class. Um, let's see. So how do students prepare for CLEP exams? So we have gotten a lot of good feedback from modernstates.org. What they are is a nonprofit organization that basically allows students to take the course, specific courses that are geared toward passing a specific CLEP exam. And it's actually a free service. The cool thing about Modern States is that they also will pay for the proctoring fee, which is associated with taking the exam. So how it works is, uh, which I'll go over a little later, but there are associated fees involved in taking CLEP exams. One that you have to pay to College Board, and then the other one will come to us. What Modern States does is if you go through their program, they will actually reimburse the student for the fee that they pay to us, which is pretty cool. Saving college kids money is always awesome. Um, we have had a lot of good feedback from Modern States, not only the fact that they do that one service, but a lot of students that take it seriously say that it really does help. So that's basically the main thing that we tell students about in order to prepare. Otherwise, most students, they may have taken the class already and just didn't get the grade that they needed. So maybe they just need to pass the class just to get the college credit, which that's perfectly fine. Um, so as far as they're ready to take the exam, but they don't really know what's the next step. So basically, the first step would be to pay for the exam on collegeboard.org. They will have to create an account on there, and the exam itself is about $90. It kind of fluctuates. It always goes up a little bit. It started at around 85. I believe it's 89 at this point. But I will, just to be on the safe side, say it's around $90 for the actual CLEP exam. And once the student purchases that CLEP exam, they have their CLEP ticket, which is good for 6 months. So after they purchase it, 6 months from the date that they purchase it, they have that time frame to take it. Um, Along with the $90 fee that they pay to College Board, we at the University Testing Center have a $30 proctoring fee that has to be paid by all of the students. Now, that is what I stated earlier will be taken care of by Modern States if the student chooses to go that route. Otherwise, they would have to just pay that $30 out of pocket. Um, After they have paid those two, they would need to schedule a day and time that works for their schedule by contacting us. Um, our contact information, you can reach us at 803 777 4562. That's our main line. And then my direct line would be 803 777 4642. And I'd be happy to walk them through the process or just explain a little bit more about CLEP if they needed to. And also, they could email me at Perkinda, which is PERKINDA at mailbox.sc.edu. And I'd be happy to answer any and all questions that they have, or at least point them in the right direction. Let's see. All right, how can you as an advisor help us? Well, the first thing is a lot of people like the idea of taking the CLEP exam, but they really, either one, they've never heard about it or they just don't know how to take advantage of it. So spreading the word to each student would be a huge help because there's still a good percentage of the population that never hear about it until it's too late. They may have taken the class already or already changed gears. So, telling each student about it and letting them make the decision to take the exam is a huge help. The earlier, the better. Um, and then you could forward all the transcript questions to the registrars because they are more equipped to handle those questions. Basically, what we do here is administer the exam. We can kind of get them started, but once they have taken the exam, we don't have anything to do with the transcript process. That would be registrar's um, deal at that point. And then the third thing would be to take some time to get familiar with CLEP. I'd be happy to do more of these that we're doing this morning. Also, if you visit clep.collegeboard.org, um, it basically breaks down everything about CLEP and just some quick FAQs about quick questions if you can't get me for some reason. Um, see. Other than that, I would like to open up the floor to questions about anything concerning CLEP.
And anybody feel free to jump on your microphone if you have questions. I guess I'm going to start since I have had some students ask about this.
Sure.
So I feel like some of my students are under the impression that this might be an easy way out to get
Right.
credit.
Right.
And how do we talk to students about CLEP to help, I guess, prepare them or help them know what they're getting into when
Right.
they're going to take a test? Because I don't feel like it's an easy way out.
It's definitely not. Like I stated before, they can actually look at it as a comprehensive final. So you wouldn't go into it ready to take the final without properly preparing for it, the whole subject matter. So students who take it seriously, I would say realistically, if they really studied for it, using modern states, I would say about 2 to 4 weeks of preparation would be suffice. I don't think that they would just be able to come in and take it unless they've already taken the class and have done fairly well in it. But yeah, like you're right, it's definitely not an easy. I wouldn't say it's an easy way out. It's a additional option. It's a cheaper option, other than taking the class, but definitely not an easier way out.
What are some of the most common courses you see students take here?
The most common courses would be CLEP, the marketing and the management CLEP is for the business. I forget what it is that it takes the place of, but marketing and management are the two. They're like 1A and 1B when it comes to testing. Now, USC just raised their testing scores for those two specifically from, I believe it was a 55 and a 58. They raised it all the way up to a 72 for both, which 80 is the highest that you can get. Um, and I'm guessing that they wanted to mitigate, so many people. That's how many people wanted to take it. So maybe they just wanted to raise it to make it a little more difficult for people to actually test out of it. I'm not 100% sure why they did that, but those two, marketing and management, are the most popular of the CLEP exams that we offer.
And I don't know if you can see the chat, but there's some questions there. Elise asked, she said she mentioned the registrars doing transcripts, but how do we know if CLEPs appear on the transcript? Like what do they look like? Like, do they come up like AP tests? Do they get credit hours towards their degree?
So whatever exam that the student is aiming to place out of, that's what will be on their transcript, the actual college credits for that class, whatever class that would be.
Okay.
So if it's an English class, they would just have the college credit, assuming that they pass, they would have the college credit on their transcript, and that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Is there a limit to the amount of students, a number of courses a student can collect?
No, technically they can take all 21. I mean, I personally saw maybe one student who took their last 2 semesters worth of CLEP. and they were able to graduate just by CLEPing it. So it's no limit. If it works for their particular field, then have at it. Let me
And
see
then
if
I
I can
did
pull
just
this
drop
up.
in the chat the link to modernstates.org so
Thank you.
that we as advisors can look at that and then share that with our students. And the link to the registrar's website where it talks about what courses are offered and what scores are needed. And then
I
what
had my
credit.
nice slideshow ready for you guys, and it just won't come up.
You're fine. And if you want to share that with me, I can share it with
Sure.
those who attend so they can have it for reference later. Does anybody else have any other questions about CLEP? Or any experiences? Can you go over the fee waiver again?
Yes. So as far as the fee, as I mentioned, they would have to pay the $90 fee through College Board specifically, and that covers the actual CLEP exam itself, whatever that is. Once they have that, then we have a $30 proctoring fee that they would have to pay. And those two would be the only two basically that's coming out of pocket. That's all they would be responsible for. But if you are referring to modern states, they would have to register through them and, of course, complete whatever course that they would like to CLEP out of. And then they would in turn be reimbursed for that $30 proctoring fee. Now the $90 is it just is what it is. They will not be reimbursed for that. But if they successfully complete that modern states course, they will be allowed to, well, they'll be reimbursed. Or they ask, I believe they ask for a copy of the receipt, and we always give, it's an automatic receipt as soon as the student pays for it. And to my knowledge, everyone has received their reimbursement.
Great. Okay, so we do have some more questions. Is the testing center here on campus open over the summer?
Yes, yes, we are open year round.
Okay. And would you say is there a best time for students to take a CLEP test within their college timeline? And you said
Well,
early, sooner better, but
I would say the sooner the better, just because a lot of the CLEP that is offered is your introductory level. But it really just depends on the student. There are some students who may have a double major, they just don't want to take that many classes at one time, and this may help alleviate their schedule. Just to be able to focus on one class, knock it out of the way, and now they may have four classes instead of five or five instead of six. But I would say the sooner the better, but actually it could benefit all um, any level, any college level student.
okay. And then could you talk more about the testing center itself and the experience for students who take a test there, whether it be CLEP or certification? Because we find our students get nervous about the process. So if we can describe to
Definitely,
them, you're going to go here, this is what it's going to be like for you.
definitely. And I would like to say that 90% of the people coming here say that they have test anxiety. So that's definitely not anything that's uncommon. A lot of people just don't like to take exams. So when they come here, we try to make it as comfortable for them as possible. Of course, everyone is on edge a little bit about, COVID and the pandemic itself, which has kind of made us we we're not open fully. What we have now is every other seat is available. We still everyone in here tests regularly. As a matter of fact, I think like 98% of the office has already been fully vaccinated. And we still wear masks and wipe down stations and everything. But as far as the students themselves, we keep it as light as we can around here. We still want to be professional, but we do let the students know that they are comfortable. we're not really hard down on things. If they need to take restroom breaks, they can take restroom breaks. They just need to know that that time does count against them. And then we go over all of this with each tester that shows up. But uh, we just do want you to know that it's not this big scary thing that CLEP is a good thing, testing is a good thing. It doesn't have to be something that scares you.
Right. And then we have, is it, so I'm the same way. Somebody said, I only hear about business students using CLEP. Is it common for other majors?
It is common for other majors, but like I said, you're right. Marketing and management are the two top dogs when it comes to CLEP. I don't really know why a lot of other students don't take advantage of it. We get sprinkles here and there of other exams, but for the most part, it is marketing and management, and I can only attribute that to students just not knowing about it. Um, but the business school specifically does a great job of spreading the word through their advisors to their students of what's available to them, and they definitely have been taking advantage of it.
And then what are the hours of operation for the testing center? So I'm guessing, is it flexible for students?
It is. So we are Monday through Friday, about 8 a.m. to 5 every day.
Okay.
We have select Fridays. I'm sorry. We have select Saturdays open, about one Saturday per month. Um, and it varies from month to month, but we try to stay open at least one. And then that is probably from about 9 to 1 on Saturdays to kind of give a little bit more flexibility. Never open on Sundays though.
Okay. And then how long do most of the exams take for students to take them?
So CLEP exams normally are about 90 minutes. Some of them are longer, but on average, they're all about around that 90 minutes. And then most of the time, students don't even take that long. Unless you are, really thorough and read everything, you probably won't take the 90 minutes. Um, some of the CLEP exams, especially ones associated with English, may have some writing involved in it, which may take longer, but most of them are all multiple choice and take 90 minutes or less.
Right. Do students have their results immediately, or does it take a few weeks for
So
scores?
for the multiple choice exams, they will get their scores immediately, and they'll leave with a physical printout.
Okay. Would those be, I'm guessing those that aren't multiple choice would be like in English or something like that if they do a
Right,
writing.
right.
Okay. Oh, good, Skylar, good question. If a student has accommodations through Student Disability Resource Center, would they coordinate that with you or the Student Disability Resource Center? And what's that process like?
So they would actually have to coordinate that through College Board. They have their own set of rules. I believe that the process is not hard, but you just have to basically fax in the paperwork to them. And then once you are approved for accommodations, then they would in turn give you a special ticket. And, they'll bring that ticket to us and we'll be able to administer whatever accommodations they need within reason.
Okay, great. And I saw, if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen real quick to
Sure.
show the tests.
Yeah,
Sandra had asked for it, and I did share the link for it.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah, so just so that you all can see from the registrar's office, the test. This is the test name, the score needed, and then the USC credit. So this is
Right.
where you'll see a lot of these, maybe Carolina Core first level classes that students
Right.
could take. And to me, they look like very common courses that a lot of
Hmm.
students might need. Um, would you say this would be, so if a student took like AP Psych in high school, but didn't
Right.
score high enough for the credit, would
Right.
this be something where they would maybe have that background knowledge they already need and could come in and try and CLEP?
I would say so. Of course, I always advise a refresher, but
Mhm.
definitely the type of students that take it. We also have a good bit of our homeschool population that take advantage of CLEP as well. I believe that you can technically start as early as the age of 13 taking CLEP exams. So homeschool, especially, they take advantage of it when they can.
All right, do we have any other questions from any of our attendees, advisors? I'm going to drop one more link there for the actual testing center, so you all have that as well. Darren, do you have anything else for us that you can think of?
That's pretty much it. I am really I'm open to doing more of these if you are,
Okay.
just whenever. I know I would like to get the word out as much as possible. Just a lot of students, like I said, they hear about it too late to fully take advantage of what they could have. So I'm definitely open to doing as many of these meetings as possible.
Okay, and it looks like for someone who asked what it's like over there, that the picture on their main site has an actual picture of what the testing center looks like with the cubes and stuff where students will be taking
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Maybe we'll get back to that. All right, well, if nobody has any other questions, thank you so much for joining us today, Darren.
No
and
problem.
For answering all these questions. Thank you to those of you who asked these questions. These were really great.
Great questions.
Yeah, and we have our survey was dropped in here. Sarah, you'll see Sarah drop that. So if you don't mind completing that survey, if you attended, and this again was recorded, so we will put it up on our website as soon as we have it processed. So you can go back or share it with other advisors.
Now I'm going to email you those slides as well to share.
Great. And we'll, I'll have, I guess Sarah will go ahead and email those of you who were registered that slideshow so that you all have that as well for reference. All right. Well, thank you, Darren. We do appreciate you and hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, have a good one.
All right. Thanks.